This is Irontrader, and this is midday trading. So I'll take a look at some stocks here. First of all, I'll take a look here at Tesla, which is on the move, NVDA, Meta, and Netflix. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Tesla, your daily chart. Now, if you watched my videos last week on Tesla, you'd say they had the robo-taxi, been saying that it's going to be debuted this weekend, and if it was a good positive, the stock would rip. If it didn't pan out, then the stock would dump. But right now, looks like a good positive news. Now, it was just a small debut, so we got to see how they go on in the future kind of a situation. Now, you can see the big-ass red candle here. Look how nice it is. I got in long, and I'm still long here on this stock here. Now, I got in a little bit late there. Okay, I got in at, what the heck did I get in there? I think it was like 328. 328, I got in there a little bit late there. So I'm still holding it. So I'm going to see how this is all going to shake out. I got to stop at 350 flat, okay? So we'll see how this works out. Now, what we had here so far was we had this 357.54 level, okay? So basically what you're looking for next is going to be right here, is going to be this 363 level, and then this is going to be the key, is going to be this 367.71. That's going to be your breakout, okay? Now, look how many nice levels. That's what I like this. These blue lines are just price channels, and as the stock sells, okay, sells all the way down, it leaves those price channels. Now, these all become your resistant levels, okay? So, very, very nice and simple, okay? 367.71, that's what we need to get above. Now, if we get above that, we just bring this level right across here. What do we get? We got 380.55 level, okay? Then we just bring this bad boy across here. This is what we have here is 381.40. Now, that's the gap. And then you want to look to the bottom of this candle here at 401.34. There's your fill, okay? So your gap is at 394. And then we have 401.34. There's your fill. And then we just bring this right across here. What do we got? You got 419.99. Bring it right across. So we just rolling up here, 439.74. We'll come up to the top of that candle, 465.33, and then we have your big retest up there at 488.54. Now, again, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go. It has to close above this key level here, 367.71, and we have to see what the reaction is once it gets there. Now, does it come up here and break through, or does a double top situation come right on down? Now, what we're looking for here on your key levels of support here is we're going to be watching this level right here, okay? So you're looking at 345.60. That's going to be very, very key. Then we'll come over top of this candle right here. You're looking at 335.50. Then we're going to start getting into these simple moving averages, 331.06, and then we have your 8-day at 26.69. And then we come down here to your 200-day, 310 level, and then we come down here. You have 305 level. Then we have your 301. But you have a lot of good support. Now the price is above all your simple moving averages very, very nicely, okay? Now, we had this negative divergence, okay? So I always say, look at that. See how we had this high, then we had a higher high. But you look at here, we had a high and a lower high, and then let's see, this is the result of it. Came all the way on down, but we held these key levels going on right here. This is the bottom of this candle here, okay? Very, very nicely. Now she's rallying up here. You only had 60. You got plenty of room to run. Your green is about ready to cross your red, so good bull on the old momentum. The question is, can it go 367.71? What's the reaction once it gets there? Does it break through or does it come down? Now, remember, this robo-taxi is going to be the future. Now, their sales are declining, okay? You know what I'm saying? The revenue is declining on the actual Tesla car, but they do so many other things. They had SpaceX, they got this, they got that. They got all kinds of stuff. Even though the SpaceX doesn't blow it up, they're still getting paid for it, okay? So always remember that, okay? So the robo-taxi, I think, is going to be the future. So we got to see how that all got to shake out. But key level here on the trading level is watch that 367.71 on the upside and watch this 331 on the downside. That is going to be your key support level. Okay, let's take a look here now at NVIDIA. Okay, here we have NVIDIA. Now you can see here we have the old melt up. Now we have this negative divergence going on here, but it just doesn't seem to want to sell. It wants to hang right in there. I think a lot of traders here are thinking, well, this is going to go higher, kind of a situation. And the key is you're really not that far off. You have 143. You're only 10 points off here from that 153, your all-time high, after the split. And that's going to, you crack that, you're going to head towards that 200 mark. And I think that's what a lot of traders are looking for here, okay? Now, I'm long this stock, and I also trade this stock. Now, you can see here how nicely it's been holding that 8-day. Now we're just below it, and then we have the catch-all underneath here is this 21-day, okay? So what we're looking on the upside is we're watching that 143.99, and then we're going to be looking at that price channel right there at that 146.20. That's going to be very, very crucial, okay? That 146.20 right there. Now, again, we can break out of that. Then we're going to come right here to the left of this chart here. You're looking at 147.79, and then we'll come to the top of this candle at 148.97, and then we'll come up here you're looking at 152.16, and then your retest at 153. We crack that, you're going to head towards that 200 mark very, very easily, okay? Now, downside, well, this 21 day is going to be everything. So you really need to hold that 140.45, and you can see how long it's been holding it very, very nicely, okay? Now, again, if that's lost here, there's a lot of good support levels coming all the way down here. You can come down here, okay, 137.95. We come down here, you're looking at 135.40. We have 132.92 level, and then we come to the bottom of this candle, which is basically that price channel at 129.16, and then we have your 200-day sitting right below it there at 128.24, and then your 50-day. Now, you can see how the 50-day is creeping right on up here, but I don't know. I just had the feeling that this is just going to sideways action here. We just have this sideways. You can see how strong this is. There is negative divergence there, but it's still a very, very strong stock. I just don't think people are going to give up the ghost on this. They're getting all these new contracts, new things, new that, you know. So bottom line, what you really want to watch is just right here, okay? 146.20. If you crack that 146.20, you're going to take a run right for that 153.13. It's just that simple, okay? Downside, just right here, watch that 140.45. That's going to be key. Now, in a small, short term, watch this 143.98. That's your 8-day. You have to get back above that. But right now, we just have that good melt up. So let's just see how this shakes out. Okay, take a look here now at Meta. Okay, here we have Meta. Now, they seem to be doing everything right, okay? So this is working really good. Now, your 8-day looks like it wants to roll over. So that's going to be very, very strong resistance, 692.38. That's what we're going to be watching on the upside. And then we can go to Friday's high. You're looking at that 701.82. And then 708.87, that's going to be your big retest up here, okay? Now, if we can get above that, then we always look to the left of the chart here. You got 710.79, and then you just work yourself up 718 level. Okay, we come up here, you got 725, and then we'll work yourself all the way up here to your 729, and then we're going to come up here, top here. You look at 737, and then 740.91 is your breakout. Now you crack above that, you're obviously going to hit toward the 800 mark, and unless your stock splits, I think you're going to hit that 1,000 mark here on the Meta. I think that's where she's going to eventually end up here. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I think eventually she will go. Okay, now on the downside, we're stuck right here between this 21-day and that 8-day. So you got to watch that 21-day. That's your catch-all, 675.51. Now, if that's lost, you want to come to the top of this candle. This is going to be your next support level, okay? So that's 662.67. And the reason is see how it ran up, pulled down, and then you broke through that. So now that becomes your support, okay? So you want to watch the top of that candle, 662.67, okay? Very, very good. Now, if that's lost, we come to the top of this candle. You're looking at 653.32, and then we'll come to the bottom here. You're looking at 644.26, and then we come down to the bottom at 632, and then we have this 100-day at 628 level, and then we have your 50-day right below that sitting at 617, and then we have your 200-day at 605. Now, again, if this happens to pull back here, I think it would be a really good buying opportunity here to take this, much, much higher, okay? Now, you look at the RSI, well, you got to an overbought condition, but now it looks like it's sold right off. There's no divergences, anything. It's just selling right off here. Your green is over your red, but I just think we have a sideways consolidation, just pretty much like what we had here, okay? And you can even look to the past. See how we had a consolidation, and then eventually it's going to take some kind of a news here. So just watch that 8-day on the upside. 692 level, you crack above that, this is going to be your big retest. It's going to be that 708.87. You crack above that, we go to the left of the chart, we follow all the way up here, but this is going to be your big target, is that retest of 740.91. And then we have to see what happens when it get, if it gets there. Does it crack through, or does it reject it and come all the way on down? Okay, let's take a look here now at Netflix. Okay, Netflix, what a beautiful chart, okay? Bottom left, upper right, it's hard to beat this, okay? Now we have that big melt up here kind of a situation. We got to an overbought condition here, sold down a little bit here, but there's really no divergences here. It just has just a great stock that's going higher. I just wish your stock would split, then you could buy a little bit more shares, okay? Because now you're sitting here at 1,241. So realistically, on the upside here, you're looking at today's high, you're looking at 1,250. That's going to be key up here. We have 1,260, and then 1,262.81 is your big retest. Now, again, you crack above that, you're going to go to that 1,300 mark here. So I just wish it'd be nice if this thing could do like a 10-for-1 split, like NVDA did, and that would be really, you bring it back down to normal, then you could buy a lot more shares. But this is really rallying up. But see, this is what I'm talking about. This 21-day is how is a catch-all, okay? See how you lose that 8-day? Okay, we lost the 8-day, but look at how nice this 21-day held, okay? Yeah, did it come lower? Yeah, but where did it close? Above the 21-day. Look how nice that's holding. So this 21-day is going to be everything, okay? So you got to hold that 1217 level. If not, you're going to come right down to this price channel at 1176, and then we have your 50-day at 1144 level, okay? But again, that 21-day is everything. But they got a lot of good stuff here. It's just not the movies and the TV and everything. Now they got all that sports activity. They got the WWE, but they got the football. You know, man, they have a lot of really good stuff that's going here on the old Netflix, and I just think this stock is just going to go higher. I can't really see if it does pull down. I think it's a good buying opportunity. That's all that's my opinion on it. Okay, so now we got plenty of room to run here. You're only sitting at 64. That can go higher. Your green is below your red, but looks like it can curl up. And the key to the upside here, just watch that 1262. You crack that, you're going to that 13-head level. Downside, just watch that 21-day. If you lose that, then we're going to come right down here, retest at 1176 and possible 1144. But you have to have a really good, strong pullback in order here to do that. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after your pick close, and we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, which is not really holding what it was doing here, and then we'll take a look at natural gas, and then we'll take a look at the indexes, your Dow, your S&P, your NASDAQ. Right now, the NASDAQ here is on the upside. The Dow and the S&P are pretty much flat, up a little bit here. So we got to see how this all going to shake out. It's all going to be based on any kind of retaliation coming from Iran. So always remember that. But also we have that the Congress is voting in this big bill or something like that by July 4th. That's going to be a tough one to get through. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out. So remember, don't have any opinion. Just trade the charts, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't just buy to buy. Just sit on your hands. I know it's not easy, but again, you know, just sit on your hands or take a two-way trade, a long and a short. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.